Welcome to That's My Opinion Pod. I'm your host, Vero Iglesias. We are back another great week, and I have the lovely Sophie DeRosa with me. It's going to be an incredible episode. We're going to be discussing the VPR reunion. What are our thoughts? We're going to get into Summer House, which delivered a freaking great episode this week. And then we'll end with New Jersey. The episode itself is whatever. Obviously, the season is getting set up, but we're going to talk about what we're thinking, feeling, everything. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, Sophie, we're going to start with Vanderpump. First part of the reunion.
I think it's crazy that we're getting a 3-part on this because, what we did talk about a lot, but there was a lot of filler. Usually, episode 1's a little bit of some filler stuff, but I don't know. Let's get into it. Something I've just been noticing is let's be real. Ariana, Katie, and dare I say James, I've kind of been the quietest this season. I would even say at the reunion. And that's just something to say about how they're doing good inside. We've never seen James be so good. I've even noticed we don't even talk about James anymore because he's doing so good. Perfect. And he's healthy. Quick flashback, that little scene on the finale of him and Allie being in love with each other.
Yeah.
Even though that was weird that a camera was standing right there in the parking lot watching them, that was the cutest, most sincere moment. And wow, the arc that we've had with Allie, I wasn't obsessed with her at first. I didn't hate her, but I love them. I love them.
Yeah, she's really cute.
I'm really happy for the effect that she's had on James, for sure.
Great.
Okay, but let's get into Ariana. There's a lot about Ariana. Let's get to the really quick about when everybody tells her, well, you're still living with him. That's mostly Lala saying how are you gonna, whatever.
And Lisa.
It's everybody. Let's be honest. It's everybody. I just don't get that argument because I'm thinking about me, boss bitch energy. That's a business decision. I'm not gonna lose my house, lose my value, all that's my equity, whatever it is. And then at the same time, this man already took enough from me. Why do I have to get out? And I love how they did that flashback in the reunion.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah, you should move out. And I'm sorry, that's the traditional thing. When the man fucks over the wife or the girlfriend, you get out. Okay? Give her safe space. And I don't know why. That's the most triggering thing out of all this shit that they'll say to her.
I find it so frustrating. It's just you guys are expecting her to financially take on an insane burden because this motherfucker cheated on her. Why should she be the one paying for it? Obviously we all can recognize that it sucks that she has to live in the house with him, but give him the grief. And I hated when someone said that to Lala. Lala was yeah, but we know he's not going to do it. Well, then keep fucking pushing him. Push him until he fucking does. Because you're putting the responsibility on someone who does not deserve it.
How many seasons has Vanderpump been?
11.
11. The way that this is probably the most misogynistic show on all of Bravo. I've never seen such disparity in how girls are scrutinized and boys are scrutinized.
100%.
And then we'll get into that when we talk about Lisa Vanderpump and her. She's the enabler of this whole concept and whatever. And I heard on your last podcast how your guest was talking about how all the producers are men and this really is a man-dominated show, but Lisa Vanderpump enables it all, allows it all. And so
agreed. Big time.
And let's talk about how Rihanna talked about how she protects her peace and doesn't watch the show. I think we all could have guessed that, I swear. Because it makes sense how she's not as angry as all of us are.
Yeah. She's
it makes sense. Because every episode I watched this season, I was wow, she's stronger than I am. She's better than I am because I don't know how this happened. Now I know how this happened because she didn't watch it.
Yeah.
And that's her healthy trait inside of her that hey, I might want to watch it just to get angrier all over again. But she really knows that's how I can stay in this happy, light space and still be supportive to my friend. Even in that finale after, I don't even know what happened, but the way you were seeing Katie and Ariana and Lala supporting Sheena and being so happy for her and dancing and all that stuff, I don't know, Ariana really, we should study her ability to be such a good friend.
No.
Because I've never seen something like it on any Bravo show.
Well, then I'm intrigued by it all because as I'm watching, I know Ariana hasn't seen anything, which now, since the reunion, Ariana has watched it.
Oh, she said that?
Yeah, I saw that. She's like, I did eventually have to go back and see it and shit. Because I think what happens is during the reunion, this is my guess, during the reunion, it hasn't happened yet, but I think they play back scenes and Ariana's watching it like, wait, what?
Mhm.
And then I think she was like, I need to go back and actually watch this.
Yeah.
But Katie and Ariana have been saying, and Lala's been saying that like the reunion was detrimental to their friendship, like things that they can't come back from. And I'm truly wondering what it is because so far it doesn't seem like Ariana's that upset at the girls yet.
Well, I think a clue was when at the end of that episode, Lala really decided to go low blow. Hey, you know what? Nobody's on my side right now. I'm gonna throw Katie under the bus for talking shit about her best friend just one time.
That was
Just one
crazy.
time.
That was
And
crazy. But
no,
I don't think that's the worst thing ever. But I think it was crazy. But not to like end your friendship with someone.
no. Let's get into it, even though that was the end of the episode, but let's just
Okay.
start it right now. The way that we've all been there before, and the whole point is that this is not a like common experience that happens all the time. But we've all been there with when you're in some type of weird situation with your bestie, okay? And you call one of your other besties, right? And it's not even to talk shit, it's to vent because you know that that other person will understand you, right?
Mhm.
Because that person knows your bestie. And this is just like a common experience that all girls have. And that's the grossest thing to go and
Mhm.
you're just jealous of our friend. Again, Lala's just been jealous all season, but like how obvious and how low in front of everybody. I just hated that. Like that's when it's
Yeah.
gonna come out for the first time. Right.
was
Like that
bad.
at the
It was
reunion in
bad.
front of every single person.
It was
Oh
right.
my God.
Also, apparently, like her and Katie got into this fight that I don't really understand what the DM was about or who
They didn't explain it. Like,
at
what do you
all.
mean she just randomly told you you need a therapist and you're a clown and you're a whatever?
Yeah, like I was very confused by that. But then when they were talking about each other's businesses, because Katie was like, don't come for my fucking business, because like that's gonna be a fucking
Yeah.
problem. Lala was like, and then you said you would come for my business, and I fucking paid for my kid on that shit. It's like, shut the fuck up with the paying for the kid on your business.
And
like,
what business? Like,
like
it's the one from a couple seasons ago, but what if she, I forgot. I genuinely forgot.
she just has like merch stuff and like
Oh,
Amazon
Daryl
bags.
shit.
Yeah, and like just like give them Lala, which has been since rebranded, like just things like that, which like whatever, your hustle's your hustle, but like don't try to fuck someone and they won't fuck with you. Like you were fucking with Katie to begin with is
We're
what it's
fucking with
coming off
everybody.
at.
No, and then when this all went down, and so I'm jumping back to
Yeah.
when she threw her under the bus for talking shit about Ariana. And then she said, and then Katie, I'm looking at her and she admits it, which Katie admits nothing
Yeah.
sometimes. She's a hard bitch. And says, it was literally my own insecurities. Like, I was jealous. She's holding back tears, okay? Then you look, it pans to Ariana where she's like visibly like, oh my God, does my
Yeah.
friend hate me? And like, and then I'm thinking, oh my God, Lala's thinking it's working. And then when Katie, it was just so relatable. And then when Katie said, like, I didn't want to go to Ariana with all the drama while she was shining and doing all these things.
Yeah.
And that was her being considerate. That was her being a good friend. And I feel, and I hope Ariana, well, we don't know what's happening in part 2 and 3 yet, but like, I hope she got that and said like, oh, that was sweet of her. She didn't want to come to me with all that. And like, we've all been in this situation. And I hope that all gets humanized and
Yeah.
normalized. And then when Lala like kept on going off, it looked like she was stuttering. And I never usually say they're making it up, but like, kind of felt like she was pulling it out of her ass. Like she just
Yeah.
kept on going and going and going. Oh, when I think Lala says, I felt abandoned by you this season. And Katie said something like, what? Or something. And then Lala pulled a full Denise Richard. I know what you're doing. Stop it. Stop it. I know what you're doing. Stop it. Stop it. I was like, wow, you don't even act like that. Now you're coming. She was multiple personalities. She was everywhere.
True.
And it was in the
True.
last 10 minutes. Like, I don't
It's
know
true.
where that came from. And clearly that means it's about to go off.
No, she was so all over the place for me because there were points where I'm like, are you against Tom or you have compassion for Tom? Are you for Ariana or are you for Tom? And it's not that listen, I'm not saying you have to be one or the other necessarily
Yeah.
because you can always play devil's advocate and understand somebody else's side. But when you're at a reunion and you're riding with someone, like you're riding for them.
Riding with them.
Pick a lane. You know what I mean?
And it's all in her tone. Like the way she says it as if I hate you, Tom. And then
Yeah.
she'll say another thing with this tone of like, I fucking ride with you, Tom. And I'm like,
It's wild. And then she's also like going against Katie, being like, you said XYZ about me, fuck you, bitch. And then also being like, I felt abandoned by you this season. Like, do you want Katie? Do you not want Katie? Like, what's the vibe? I lost her.
and then let's just go to like the way she thinks that she's the spokesperson for this show. Like, Andy posed several questions to the entire group. She's like, so, okay, so this is what we think. And then it's the same thing. Clearly there's a producer. Oh my gosh. They should like give us a producer episode. Like
Yeah.
telling us their rationale, because we're all baffled. We don't get it. And I'm trying to get it.
Mhm.
And I just didn't, like, even in the finale episode when she's the one narrating the soft part at the end,
And when I tell you that,
it doesn't make sense.
It
Like,
grinds my gears. Also, there was a point. Oh, this is such a good point. I said this last week on the pod. Like, Lala's not OG fucking Vanderpump. Like, I was a full-blown adult when Lala joined this season. Like, I was not when Vanderpump started. And Lala said during the reunion, like I think it was when she was telling Katie, like, you and I are truth tellers. This is what we do on the show. Like, this is who we are on the show. And then she's like, we've been doing this for 11 years. I mean, you guys have been doing this for 11 years. And Katie goes, I've always been my authentic self on this show.
that's the truest thing of all time.
The truest thing of all time. I'm like, Lala, you joined it. Like, these people fucking invented this show and made it what it
Lauren
is.
from Utah.
Literally, you joined when, like, James had already been on the season. Like, James not OG either. Like, James is very much a newbie in my eyes. Even though he's been on the show for seasons. Like, you're not, sit the fuck down. You haven't been doing this for 11 years. And the only reason you have been able to be your authentic self on the show is because there are authentic people on the show that set up that type of environment. Like, you didn't start something new or bring something new to the show. Put respect on people's names, please.
You brought another character to this show, and that's awesome. And thank you for that. But we have several. We got Tom, we got fucking Sheena, we got James. We have a lot of characters here.
We've always had characters.
Yeah.
Laura fucking Lee, dude. Like, relax.
No, and then just more about her. Again, now I get caught up therapizing people, but like, this must be her like hardcore defense mechanism. The way that she just has to like 100% go hard on every belief she's ever had. And then like, hey, that kind of makes you look a little full of shit, a little two-faced sometimes. And that scene, I literally forgot it when they brought up the grooming thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then they show that clip of her on the boat. I didn't even remember when she was bitching at him that she called him a groomer. I had no idea. That didn't stick with me. And now I'm like, you fucking full of shit, bitch.
Yeah, which one is it? Is he a groomer or do you want to be friends with him?
And then it's also
someone that groomed someone.
Can you like use your words more seriously? Because like clearly she just calls people on the craziest shit, but then nothing means anything. And then it's like, I don't know what to believe it. Hey, I know when Katie's calling some shit out, she means it. She's not going to change that opinion. Unless she's sorry, which how adorable would that? I started crying when, and hey, Brock has had his problems this second half of the season. At the beginning, I kind of liked him. I was like, you know what? Like, he's really defending his girl and he's standing up for good thing. By the end of it, I'm like, you are so full of shit and you're living on a different planet because you're living on a different planet. I'm like, he's confused. That's what I'm thinking. And then he really opens up about his kid situation. And that's neither here nor there. I kind of am always a little sussed out. Do I know the full truth about that? No. But it's all about doing better. Anybody can reform and be better. And then Katie is like, wow, this was like even though Katie's always real. She's always real. She was visibly like feeling this reunion. And she gave the most sincere apology of all time.
Also, Ariana fully crying about it.
No, I know. These two people are for real. Like, I don't get it. Producers, what were you thinking? Thought we were going to hate them?
Yeah. Last scene.
Crazy. You're like, again, I'm insistent. You got to give me a producer episode. I want to know everything you were thinking. And then I even want like Lala in it. I want Tina in it. And I want to know how they formed this opinion too. Let's maybe backtrack to at the beginning. At the beginning, they start talking about Raquel a little bit. Yeah. And the way that Vanderpump comes in and leads the conversation on that. She's full of shit. I'm so disappointed in her, all this stuff. And hey, so am I. But I just can't with the Tom train of it. Like, two things can exist at the same time. Tom can be completely wrong, evil, and whatever. And she could still be a little much of a I don't even know. I want to choose my words correctly. Like, it's not that she's a cloud chaser. Like, what is she? Or is she just running away from responsibility? Like, I don't have a word for her.
I don't think there is a word for her. She's just someone who she's fucking trying to fucking milk the cow.
And trying to get out as scot-free as she can. And
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to like
literally.
slither out of it and like and whatever. And quick, I don't know. Let's have this conversation about the grooming thing. I actually want to hear your opinion.
Mhm.
I am not here to say like I don't know their experiences. Like, let's be real. But if
Mm.
you're looking at this objectively, by the way, fucking bozo, grooming does not imply pedophilia. Okay.
No, yeah,
You can still be groomed and be of age.
yeah.
But I do think that in this situation, Tom should have known better. And like we're dealing with a young, let's be real, probably low IQ. Used to love.
Yeah.
Impressionable, like fangirl. Like
Wow.
she's a fucking fangirl. And she was so obsessed with both of those Toms and this whole lifestyle. These are my best friend. When she
Yeah.
said that the night before she's fucking him.
Mm.
Like, this is an impressionable person. And like, I'm not gonna go out and say he groomed her and he took advantage of everything, but like it'll forever to me be on him. Like, you knew better than to go with this little girl. And
So I think I might have a hot take on it.
okay.
And I hate it because I don't want to sound like I'm defending Tom.
Yeah.
Because I think he's scum.
Yeah.
But I think she's old enough to know better. She had been
It is. No, she is.
She had been in a serious relationship for years. She was engaged to another person. She has, yes, a very low IQ. Yes, a very low emotional and intellectual capability. Absolutely. All of those things are true. But that girl's like around my age. You've been around people. You know better. You know what affairs are like.
And you have friends. You're friends with these people. So why are you going to do that? Yeah.
Also, her intention is in the wrong place of she wants to be with them for validation, for attention, for fame, whatever it may be. You have to own your intention. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that he couldn't have groomed her or done or taken advantage, but she wanted to be with him. And I think we saw it play out on camera. She craved him.
Yeah.
Because of probably he was with another woman. And another woman that she probably wanted to be a lot like because
And he's the king of the show practically. But like I really think
grooming can happen between two consenting adults. I don't know if you watch Baby Reindeer, but like that was a big conversation of like he wanted fame and he wanted those things and he kept going back and he was still getting groomed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think with Rachel, I see big distinctions in what was happening. I think she wanted it.
Yeah.
You know, I think she wanted the relationship.
Is that the deciding factor though? If it's consensual? Actually, no, because in Baby Reindeer, technically
he didn't want the sex. He was in another.
But he went there. But he went back. Yeah,
but he went back. But he was like, I hope it doesn't happen again. But if it does, what I'm getting out of it is more than the sexual act that might happen to me. Versus Rachel wanted the sex. Rachel wanted the relationship.
Yeah, she
Rachel
wanted it
was
all.
on camera saying, "I love you." She was very much taking to the tango.
And I think it all goes back to they said they both were saying, I love you. And they really said that this was a real love and a real thing. So that ruins her whole argument.
Also, and those type of relationships can happen in grooming. But I don't see where Tom has like that much more power. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Raquel was still on the show as a permanent cast member. Raquel, like Tom is 40 years old, but acts like a 30-year-old. If that. Like even probably younger. This isn't an older man with that much power.
Yeah.
Really, truly. Like he's not a big producer on the show. He's not Andy Cohen. He's not I'm gonna make sure you stay on the show forever. Like
he has no pull anywhere. Yeah.
If we as viewers wanted Rachel off the show because we weren't fucking with her anymore, she would have been off the show no matter what Tom wanted or didn't want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the power wasn't the big factor.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing, and I don't think I can say in either here nor there what happened because once again, we have no idea.
No idea.
It was really like. we have no idea how far the consent went or didn't go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think you can be two consenting adults where grooming can happen. And I
Yeah.
think you can be in a position where you love someone and are still getting groomed by them. Like, I think all of those things are very capable, but I don't look at Rachel as such a vulnerable party
Yeah.
as some people are trying to put her out to be. And also, like Lala was saying, when Rachel made the comment of like, Tom was the only person I had. That's because Rachel put herself in that position. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
everything. Yeah.
she could have had a lot of people on her side where Tom wasn't going to be the only person. You fucked your friend's fucking boyfriend, partner of 10 years. Like, you expect who to be on your, like, it just doesn't really, it doesn't add up to me. It doesn't add up
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
But that's my take on it.
Yeah, no, and it was just crazy. Again, it made me more believe it the more he doubles down on her. And I hate Tom Sandoval more than anything in the world. And like,
No.
and then when he goes, and I hate how he doubles down and he goes into, I was questioning if she has a fucking soul. We're all questioning if you have a soul. So I don't know what you're talking about here.
Also,
And like,
misery loves company. The reason you
yeah,
guys ended up together and we're
yeah,
together and
literally.
having an affair is because you both are fucking shitty human beings.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't
Fucking
that
fact.
the fucking truth?
Literally fucking fact.
Okay, from
Also, the suicide stuff was crazy.
you took it out. I was gonna say, let's jump into the mental health combo. Yeah.
Yeah, these are fucking heavy
So
conversations we're having right now.
I'm gonna say, like, just starting that entire conversation made me uncomfortable, and I
Yeah.
love to talk about mental health. It's a topic I'm very comfortable speaking about. And again, this is another one that I have to talk with a disclaimer. Like, I'm not here to say anybody is full. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm not here to say Sandoval is completely full of shit on his mental health claim. But if his mental health was so detrimental, he should have left the show and protected his peace and done self-bettering activities and made better decisions, right? But instead, he comes here in this like full fight mode, narcissist on display, and like I don't think because of even this last season, everything post Scandal, I don't think it's our place to be considerate of his mental health and to be like, I'm just saying the way that Gina and Lala are like, the only reason I'm his bestie now is because, okay, hot take. I think it's selfish of them. I think even the way they worded it, they're saying if something happened, I didn't want it to be on me. So that's why I'm cool with him.
No,
And like,
I
we all get that statement, by the way, right?
100%, 100%. But I just think at some point, and I have a little bit more respect for Rachel in the sentiment where it's like, if you're really truly protecting your mental health, you're not getting into the ring where you know you're going to get your ass beat.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not diagnosing Tom Sandoval as a narcissist because I'm not in that position to be able to do that. But it's a very narcissistic trait to have this confidence that he thought he was going to be able to have a redemption arc. That's why he came back on the show. He said, I'm going to save face. And we see it in the last 3 seconds of the finale where he goes, that was really good for me. He thinks by getting in the ring, he's actually going to save himself. That's his mentality, which is a problem.
And hey, that mentality could even be kind of true if you didn't say all the things you said and did all the things like, oh, yeah. I'm not even mad at him for trying to win us back. Okay. Be a better actor. Be a better actor. Do better things. Be nicer. Be fucking even. I get so triggered when I see the Sheena being his friend thing because 3 episodes or 4 episodes ago, he literally called you a fucking mistress, went off on you in front of everybody. Like, he doesn't give it doesn't matter who's on the other side. He will fight you.
Yeah, 100%.
Does not matter.
He doesn't get
and then it transitions into, thank God Ariana brought up how he weaponized her mental health. And like, it's just crazy to see the parallel, dude. Like, just roll the tape. Roll the tape.
Literally roll the fucking tape. Let them speak for themselves.
And like seeing that scene of them on the couch, remember the classic Sheena Sandoval scene when you should have been there, Tom? No. And it never clicked for me. Like, on top of it, it's disgusting that he outed her mental health like that. I know there's a million people struggling who don't want everybody to know that they've attempted suicide and are in the depths of their darkest place. That never clicked with me. Like, that wasn't public information. How dare you? How dare you?
Not only is he publicizing it, he's helping it justify his action.
Yeah, it was his go-to excuse.
Had to cheat because if not, she would have killed herself. So what were you gonna do if when she found out she cheated? You obviously weren't that fucking scared. Because if you're actually scared about her mental health and trying to protect it, you would have fucking cheated on her. You know what I mean? Like, hello, make it make
I had
sense.
chills thinking about that. And then when Tom, like after they show the Sheena example and how he outs it like that, and then Tom's excuse is, I feel like it's being used against me in a very textbook manipulation tactic. Dude, that's you. First of all, that's what
Yeah.
you're talking about yourself. That's like your go-to.
Mhm.
And second, so that again gets me at, again, we're not gonna diagnose this narcissist, but like
No.
he really has an inability. We gotta study him. How
Yeah,
can
we
he
do.
not like realize, especially as an actor who is living in the comments, and as Lala wants to say, you're living in the comments.
Yeah.
He cares about what people think and he cares about this perception, and like his PR team has done horribly. Let's be real. Like they need to train him better. And like,
Andy Cohen being like, you need to fire your PR team.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. And then it goes to him defending why he did it. He's like, because I didn't believe it. Okay. So then,
Which
Oh.
one is it? Pick a fucking line.
and then Sheena's best line of the entire season. She goes, if you wanted to call bullshit, you would have just walked out the door. And then Ariana's face is like, great
Yeah.
point, great point. And like,
Literally
for real, walk out the door. Why didn't you do it?
work out.
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I remember they showed this like little montage of like him being aggressive. That like, I had
Gotcha.
chills. Like that took me back all of these years, and like I didn't remember. Crazy how memory works. Like I swear, just since he's been with Ariana all these years, like we've all had a better perception of him. Like he's not good bad.
Of
Like
course.
Ariana's
Yeah.
cool and she's with him.
Yeah.
You know, he's scary, dude. He's scary.
I
And
never
like,
liked
oh,
him.
no, and I never liked him either, but I didn't. I kind of brushed past him, and like again, I think
100%.
Ariana's biggest red flag will always be how she dated him for that long.
Yeah.
Because seeing her next to him in those
True.
scenes of him getting aggressive, putting his hands up, and then she's just
True.
sitting there. And I'm like, oh my God, imagine seeing your boyfriend do that. Oh my God.
No, terrifying. Literally
God.
fucking terrifying.
And then,
Terrifying.
though, I love it. The whole beginning was like the Tom interrogation. And then they get to his newsworthy headline. And when the O.J. Simpson, George Floyd comment, when he said that thing about like, oh, the article, nobody reads the article. What did I do last night? Read the article. Okay. I go through it. It was 45 minutes. I didn't get to the end because I'm going to read it after. It was a great article. Whoever wrote it, great job. And like, they gave him a chance to redeem himself. And it was like an interview at his house. And it was this whole like long written piece. And like, he really thought he ate with that line. Like, it wasn't like, and again, I'm not even going to say it because, hey, he made a mistake and he could have even defended it, apologized, whatever. He sits there and he says nothing. And that's why I just even more like, you got to be, it's rude. It's disrespectful that you came prepared with no rebuttal.
No, literally.
Like,
Also,
he's like, what? You want me to apologize
about-
and like defend myself?
the fact that Lala is the one who did it.
What do you mean?
Lala was the one who was like, I think you meant this by it.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
I think that's what you were trying to say with it.
first of all, you're not his mom or his best friend, but I
Let the
clearly.
man sing. We don't want him on the show. Let him sing. Let him
Thank
down.
Katie's spinning the bars, intention versus impact. It's like my favorite point that I remember I learned like 5-6 years ago, and like that changes your whole life. Like once you just realize that, and like reality stars need to know that better. Well, again, they're there for drama, so they don't matter. But it's not about your alleged intention, which we know that your alleged intentions.
Full of shit.
He's just like, he has such a resume. I'd like to call it like a resume of bad decision. That like, that's just a bad investment. You're going there for a friend, a boyfriend. Don't go there. Bad investment. Bad history. No. And everybody's like, you know what? Then whatever. We talked about fatherhood. They get a little more into Ariana and Dan. I love Dan. Okay. And I love what you guys said in the last episode. Like, the universe sent this guy. And like, it goes to like Ariana saying, I wasn't going to put, this needed to be filmed and like put on blast. Like, I'm not going to put my life on hold until I'm fully healed. And this, like, we need to normalize this because like, there's always that pushback of people talking shit whenever you do something after a traumatic event, breakup, whatever. Maybe it's too fast, whatever. my whole life just got thrown in the dumpster. Like,
Yeah.
I am the only person who gets to decide my future and my destiny right now. And
Yeah.
I get to choose happiness. So
Agreed.
I'm going to go on and like, hey, let's be real. If it was any other guy who wasn't a healthy, awesome Dan,
Yeah.
would probably, I get
Her.
Lala. And I heard what you said last episode. I would have been the question girl too. Hey, I would have too. It was just funny coming from Lala after we're like kind of eating and like
It was
whatever.
bold. It was bold. It was bold.
It was bold. And she can be doing this all at the same time. And like, let's be real. I think we all would dream of having a perfect man with us during this journey of getting
Literally,
over what just happened.
the knight in shining armor came to save the fucking day, dude. Let her have it. She literally looks like Cinderella too. Like, let her
She
have
looks
it.
like Cinderella.
Like,
No,
let her have it.
and on top of it, like their long distance, like they had their thing going. Like it couldn't have been healthier for her. Like it couldn't have been a better situation.
Agreed.
And whatever. Fast forward to now, go off Queen, Broadway Queen, renewing your thing. Now you're there with your man. Like,
I love.
oh my, and I
Love.
hate. I don't know if this was in the in somewhere. I remember Lala saying this quote this season. I've never seen somebody get cheated on and then become fucking God. First of all, she's not God. Chill out. You're just
No.
jealous. Okay. And
Yeah.
second of all, like, this is what, like, normalize this. Getting cheated on and having self-worth and just writing a new path.
And
And,
the
like-
universe and the world hyping you up, and your friends hyping you up, and like,
And maybe that was her reward after 10 years
Yeah.
of fucking Sandoval. Like,
yeah, let
some
her
good
fucking
things are
take-
happening.
Let
Really quick about Schwartz. I remember when we talked about this last time. You used to love Schwartz. And I even was like kind of like okay with him a little at the beginning of the season. The second that little proposal happened, I was done with him because I was like, you had your chance to like kind of get better. And then when he's like, I would pay money to see Schwartz like take off this mask of him being full of shit. I know that's like his personality.
Yeah,
And like
allegedly.
it must be his defense back. No, clearly it's not, because we heard that shit about how he's a gaslighting manipulator with Joe after she went on
Yeah.
live. You heard about that? Like
Yeah.
clearly we know nothing about this man, I guess.
Yeah.
But for him to like even like again, everything he says is silly, but it triggers me because like you don't get to be this silly right now. And when he's talking about why he proposed to Sandoval's roommates, he's like, because I wanted to see how it would feel like one last time in case I never got proposed to. Dude,
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
funny. Nobody's laughing at that joke.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Oh.
So fucking bad.
And let's just go back to the end and talk about this something her beef.
Yeah.
And when they talk about why we didn't open. Okay. And then I had to rewatch the scene a couple times, but like Andy did directly ask LVP, what's your take on it? I've always hated LVP, so this is an organic opinion. On Housewives and on Vanderpump, I just find her condescending, full of shit, all this shit.
Okay.
And like I didn't like how she uses her like restaurateur expertise there to be like, we all know the drain wasn't the problem. Like, dude, we all know that you don't speak to them, okay? Like, and that you're just here for fucking show. And just so many people believe her. So that's why I get triggered by Vanderpump, because I'm like, you're speaking on this authority that so many people are gonna run with. And I hate that.
Agreed.
And trying to pit these two bitches against each other, okay?
Mhm.
When that's all they have right now. And it's giving
No.
producer, just like Lala.
Giving producer. And it's giving negative. And it's giving.
And it's
You're-
giving, you wouldn't say that to the Toms.
You know what I would say? I did think she was really hard on the Toms when they were opening Schwartz and Sandy.
And not real hard. She was just being a good mother to them and saying, get your shit together. You got to open up. You're losing money. I didn't even think that was hard. I thought that was supportive. So that's
true.
how I
That's
see it
true.
differently.
That's
because-
actually a very fair point.
Because here she's going back and forth with them. And then she
Yeah.
brings up, it was a multitude of reasons, but proceeds to say one reason. The multitude of reasons, Ariana being away, and the way that they both looked at her and were like,
Yeah.
"Dude,
Like,
what?
what are you
Dude,
talking?
what? You made that up.
Like-
We've never told you that. The what?"
They literally looked at her like, you're fucking nut.
And again, that's why this all feels like an inside job. It all feels like
Yeah.
everybody has the same story. And
Yeah.
I always, in this Bravo world, I've gotten clowned too many times. Like, I'm never trying to be a sheep. It's very rare now that I'm like 100% on somebody's side. But like
Yeah.
out of all the shows I'm watching right now, VPR, I'm 100% on Ariana and Katie's side. Like
Oh,
I
100%.
100%. And it's
No.
rare to have that nowadays. But I'm
Yeah.
100%. And everybody on the other side, you have this story that all matches up, and I don't get it.
Weird.
And let's just talk about Lisa. Like, you have no business being here anymore. Dude, you coming in with the FaceTimes all the time. You're not even part of this. And then you get to sit
Yeah.
right there next to Andy the entire time.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're done with this. I just want to give an award, an honorable mention to James Kennedy for being amazing this season. Not one thing he said did I not disagree with. I didn't love.
Yeah. So
I
good.
love
He
him.
did so good.
And like he's like what Lala wants to be.
Yeah.
Like,
He is.
I'm straight up and I say it how it is, but I'm also lighthearted and sweet and like kind of approachable and fun to be around. Yeah, but you're not all of the things, but you just say things aggressively and you're the loudest person. So that's it.
100%.
And conclusion, the quietest had it right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What would you scale the first part of the reunion 1 to 10?
Not that juicy, except for the end. 6. Let's be real. Because if they're giving us 3 parts, something happened. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
They do Housewives that it's a juicy ass season, but they give us 2 parts. So like, it's kind of crazy that they're giving us 2 parts.
Crazy.
Whatever. Let's
So
see what
we
happens
love the
next
summer
week.
house?
Yes. Quick side note, I have to add, this idea has been brewing. I think me and you need to team up and we need to pitch a Miami summer house edition because this summer house is getting a little milk. And like, guys, anybody listening, Miami is the place for reality TV. I don't know what y'all are missing. Just imagine it now.
People.
No, Miami
They're made for
people.
reality TV.
Let alone the location, okay? And like the vibe. But the people are number one. We beat New York, LA, all of those places.
They're dramatic.
Dramatic and like drama that happens here.
Biggest shit talkers, biggest gossipers. We confront people.
Bro, we confront more than any of you.
More than anybody.
Yeah.
We party hard. We go out. We can also have a light time. Like, I can be talking shit and the next 5 minutes be like hunky-dory with you.
We're hunky-dory. Straight hunky-dory. Just imagine, okay, so it's like all the people from this Miami summer house live in the suburbs of Miami, but whatever. Every weekend, where do we go? Our mansion in Miami Beach, okay? We throw huge parties. Fuck the alien party. Ours is going to be way better, okay? We throw these big parties, and then we keep it spiced up. We're not only going to Miami Beach every weekend. We go to the Bahamas because, that's an hour flight. Some places even 20 minutes. So
we go on the boat. I go on the boat and we're there in 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll for sure go on the boat. Oh my God. And then we even go down to the Florida Keys. We can go to Key West. We can go party hard. We can go to Key Largo, stay in another nice mansion. The whole point is we got fresh locations, a lot of water, fresh going out places, and fresh character. We got the OG group, right? A couple of locas, a couple of hotties, a couple of fuck boys. Keep it good.
Everyone hooks up with each other.
By the way, that happens in real life. We're just not getting filmed. We're just not getting filmed. We just need the production group. That's all we need. We'll take care of everything else.
I literally, the parties that I have in my house, so I'm the type of person that back in the day, I used to have a party every time I was back home and I'd get an inflatable slide. I get water slides. I get bounce houses.
I used to do a Christmas.
I won't even talk about what happens in the fucking bounce houses. And I'm sitting there. I've hooked up with probably 4 guys at the party. Another bitch is hooked up with a guy that I want to hook up with. Like, we're made for this.
It's free.
And our tans are real.
Our tans are real. Okay? No, you're going to die from episode 1 to episode 16. It's going to be completely new cast. And just imagine, like, this show will never get boring. Not one. Like, it can't. It's impossible. It's impossible. I'm doing all the work for you. My life
should be filmed now. The amount of drama
I know.
like right now. And, like, it's just, like, not getting filmed.
We're waiting. We're the future. Miami's the future. But you'll realize that the hard way. Keep on going to New York. Okay. So back to this episode. I just always think at this point, like, I really think if an astrologer took like a 2-hour session with Lindsay and Carl, like, they would settle everything and say, like, mamas, no. You guys do not. They speak different languages. They always have. Like, different languages. And like, and I know, again, I get into trauma. Like, I know Lindsay has a hard past, and I think that informs all of her toxic traits, like, really hard. And she has this, like, abandonment issue of, like, I have this guy, and, like, I love him, and I'm gonna make it work, and, like, whatever. But, like, I used to be a really big Lindsay hater. I'm not gonna, like, I just did. When she gets crazy, like, she scares me. I do not want to be around a person like that at all.
Yeah.
But when she's in her positive light, like she's awesome and she needs to just get away from this. And like, it's hard to see, even though we know what's happening, like what ends up happening, like it's really hard for me to watch all these conversations.
No, it's impossible. Not gonna lie, I fast forward through some of their fights because I'm like, I know what
It's the
they're
same
saying.
shit. It's the
I
same
know what they're
shit.
saying. I know they're not speaking the same language. I know they're miscommunicating. I know they're not hearing each other. I know they're defensive. I know the other person can never say the right thing.
They're both the most defensive people. That's what it is. Both.
Super defensive.
And like Carl for being the epitome. I think we said this in another podcast. My favorite Adele quote line. I forgot what the song is, but it's like, complacency is the worst trait to have. Are you crazy? And like, he is just such a pussy.
Yeah.
Like, and I hate people that use excuses. Like, he's just like really using this whole parent conversation. Like, obviously that was bad. Like, that was bad though. But like, it just also feels so calculated the way Lindsay's right. Like, if you tell your mom every fight you have, they're gonna tell you to break up.
Yeah.
And like, he feeds this to his parents. Of course, they give that reaction. And then like, you're going to use that as an excuse because you're not man enough to do it yourself.
Yeah, it's not good.
And like, since day one, he's scared of her. Like, and it just reminds me of like an old school couple. They are like that toxic parent that needs to get divorced and have been married for 30 years. And like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And like, he really, I think, again, people have always spoken about this, but like, and I know people from personal experience, like, sobriety doesn't fix all your problems. And like, he just really, I think his big void is like validation. And like, he has something within himself that he doesn't love that like, he can't. On top of they're not compatible. They shouldn't be together. They're not compatible. But then on top of it, he's not capable of whoever this woman is, unless she's this yes woman who says yes to everything he says.
He needs to be babied.
I know, but I hate, again, now I'm just being a hater. I hate that type of man. Like, ew, what? He's going to go get with some 26-year-old who's going to, like, just be obsessed with him and tell him he's awesome?
I mean, go for it.
I guess. But, like, can we talk about what do we think's going to happen next season?
I have no fucking clue.
They're both OGs, right?
Yeah.
Are they both OGs? I didn't watch.
Maybe they'll do, like, this is my idea that I don't think is going to happen, but maybe they'll, like, switch off weekends. Maybe. I don't know.
No, I guess this is like the closest thing to like a scandal. Like, are we gonna share a friend?
Yeah. Like something.
If I was Lindsay, I'd get the fuck out and I'd start an awesome life.
Yeah, but she's in her influencer phase, so this is how she.
You know that's right. Ain't that fucking right? Okay, well, I'm a little worried about them. Whatever. And then, okay, let's pivot to the other toxic couple. So I think we all can agree, like, yeah, Amanda Depp is missing her own identity. And, like, Depp should go out on her own, whatever. I was about to say a hot take. I want to hear all your thoughts. So, like, just put yourself in somebody's shoes, okay? You've been married a couple of years. Your husband started this great startup. It's kind of going well. You're the creative director. You're really a part of it, but you're not, like, you're not a full, right? She's not a partner.
I don't think so, no.
I think she's not. I think that's by public knowledge. She's not a partner. And like, it's his baby, and like, and you quit your job, and like, yeah, you're having a great life and you're doing this, whatever. But like, now a couple of years later, you realize, wow, I kind of have no identity and I kind of want to do something I've always thought of. And the bikini line, hey, I've thought of that too, because I was a big boob girl. Great idea. Go do it. But your husband is expressing like that the business is like kind of fully sinking and like really bad. And you guys kind of started it together and you even gave your own money. And this kind of means your livelihood of not only your life, but like your marriage financially. So like, if it was me, I'd probably hold off for a bit and get all hands on deck and save this company, maybe.
Also, she probably has the luxury of not doing full 9-to-5 vibes.
No, clearly we've seen that. He does everything.
Yeah. So I don't understand why you can't like start, because like a swimsuit line's going to take forever. And I'm sure now she's probably going to have people pitching to her. You just like
do both.
Or like start like coming up with the concept of being like, hey, I'm still working for you. I'm still going to help you. We're still going to kill it. But like, I'm also going to start thinking about these things. So like on the weekends, I'm going to do XYZ. Like, because if you're not a hustler, you shouldn't have your own swimsuit line.
Sorry, 100%. 100.
If you're not willing to hustle, don't do it.
100%. Wow, well said. Because she's just genuinely, she told us for years, I hate hustle. I want to sleep in I don't want to do that. And
She also wants to raise the kids. Like, you're not going to be able to have a successful swimsuit line if you want to be a stay-at-home mom full-time. And it's not that, like, stay-at-home mom can do whatever you want and be a stay-at-home mom if that's what you want to do.
but you gotta grind.
Fucking great life. But, like, your swimsuit line's going to need you. And it's going to need you on weekends. And it's going to need you late at night. And designing and produce. And, like, if you want to do that because you feel more passionate about it and you feel like you'd be able to balance that with being a mom, go for it. But, like, if you want to work, like, work involves a lot of sacrifice, a lot of time, a lot of energy. Like,
And I don't think
what
she's
you're
like
doing.
emotionally there yet to like give all that. But I think they're just both so they've been like this even when they were dating. Like they're defensive too. And like and they both have good points because I also see it as like, hey, Amanda, you're not even a partner and he shits on your work ethic all fucking day. Fuck him. It's his baby, not yours. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But that's your husband. You're married to
Yeah.
this guy. So like it's not like I don't get it. So you're gonna have to I don't get it. I
Also,
go
the
back and
way,
forth.
the way that they speak to each other is appalling.
But
I would die.
how many years are we gonna go on defending this? Like I
Also,
don't-
when you have kids and he speaks like that in front of you, in front of the kids, like, I would fucking lose it.
I never really knew that their age gap was that big.
Yeah, it's big.
It's huge. He said
So
40.
mature. He's so mature.
Okay, whatever.
But I like Kyle and Amanda. I would love to get into a room with him and be like, you're going to fucking listen and I'm going to break it down for you.
No, a
And
therapist could fix all their
no,
problems.
fuck
I
a
think
therapist.
easily.
Therapist is too nice. You need
You're
someone
right.
to go in on this motherfucker and be like, tú, siéntate. And you're going to fucking listen to me. And I'm going to fucking, like, what Paige was trying to do,
Yeah,
I would,
on that clip.
dude, I'd fucking love to.
And I hate to ever defend a man because then it looks like I'm going against Amanda. I'm not. But
No.
I will say, like, recently I'm watching this season and then I'm also on season 4, like recapping shit I never watched back in the day.
Yeah.
And like, she does have a really bitchy personality in the way of, like, I really do think Kyle tries hard sometimes. Like,
cold. She can be cold.
she can just be cold, and like that's where it goes to like they have different personalities. He's a type A, and not even a type A because he's also a partying fucking drunk asshole, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, he gets more passionate about things, and she doesn't.
He can't regulate his emotions.
He feels everything too hard, and it's just like, whoa, chill out. Yeah, I agree.
We need to regulate your emotions.
No, and she's too regulated.
Yeah.
Again, they're just on opposite sides of this pole that I'm like, somebody's gonna need a compromise. And like, we've been doing this for so many years. Yeah, whatever.
Well, did you see the clip of Jesse Solomon and the cancer stuff?
Poor guy. And like, I can't get over the Wes friendship of it all. That like, Wes could make anybody smile, right? They're great. I love the juxtaposition of them too in all the scenes. Because I did see a little bit of last night before I stopped. They were talking again in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Was that last night?
Yeah.
And dude, this fresh meat, we needed this fresh meat on this show. We needed this fresh meat on this show. And like the way they're just making everybody look more sane. And like I'm sorry, they're bringing the show back to life. And let's be real, they're not doing shit. Like it's not even that they're some craziness stuff.
No.
Nothing. Just they're being normal.
Yeah. Also, dare I say, that moment between them, this might be a lot for me to be saying, but I think it's one of the most powerful moments we've seen on Bravo between two men.
And especially that they didn't know each other. Like that gets me. And again, I let's be real, it's kind of really on Wes. Like that was impressive stuff.
Yeah.
That was that. And that couldn't have been acting. Let's be real. You can't act that shit. You can't act that shit. You can't act that shit.
No, you can't.
And like even the way they were like keeping it private and everybody's like, I was getting scared when everybody's like, where the fuck are they? Where are they? And I thought people were going to be annoying. What the fuck were you doing? Crying? No, thank God nothing happened. It didn't get ugly. But yeah, Wes is a gem to this show.
For sure.
He's a gem to this show.
No, it's so good. It's so good. Well, let's talk about the him and Sierra stuff, because I know you didn't watch last night's episode, but they go on a date, them two.
I saw a clip at the farm, and they were right at a farm or something.
Yeah. They went horseback riding, and I commend her because she was super honest about like what she wanted and didn't want, and like where her boundaries were. And Wes, I think, seems like he can kind of like get ahead of himself. Like he like just like loves the idea of like having fun together and doing these things without like
And it's not that deep.
Yeah, without
Yeah.
he doesn't think it's deep. But as women,
He's
she's like,
present. He's present. He's not thinking about the future. She's not present. She's thinking about the future.
yeah, and she's also like, you can't say shit like that. Like
Yeah.
you can't.
That
'cause
doesn't
I'm
make me
taking
feel
it serious.
better. Yeah.
Like, and every girl's different. Like some girls
Yeah.
don't take that seriously at all. But like, she made it very
No,
clear. Like,
clearly she does. If we've learned anything from this season, she takes shit seriously.
shit seriously. And yeah, it's just an interesting point of like miscommunication between them. And like they are so not on the same page, but they think they're on the same page.
I think they want to think they're on the
I
same
agree.
page.
Yeah,
I don't
they
think they actually think they're on the same page.
Because like as a girl, and I've been in that position before, where like as a girl, I was dating a guy, and he made it very clear to me of like, I love hanging out with you, but I just am like, don't know if I'm ready for commitment right now, but like I'm down to see where it goes. And I was like, I'm down to see where it goes too. I know where I wanted it to go. I know
Yeah.
where I wanted the final destination to be.
We all have
where
goals.
I wanted it. I was like, ask me out tomorrow, motherfucker. He didn't. And obviously it never came to the point where he wanted commitment from me. Because if they don't want it when they know you well enough, they're never gonna want it.
Yeah.
Or you have to walk away and they realize what they lost, and then they might want it. For sure.
That's a great take.
The door can be open. But like, girl, we're too old for you to think that the
Yeah.
guy's gonna want commitment out of you if he's not
Yeah.
wanting it now. But she was
Yeah.
honest about it. I think she did a really good job of like standing her ground and like what she thought about the situation.
But let's be real. They haven't had sex, right? At this point in the
Yeah.
story?
I know.
So, like, just for me, and I, again, never try to defend the man, even though this is a good man. He's a good man, the man.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's hard to make a full commitment when we don't know, or we have not consummated the marriage, okay?
Mm.
And we can cuddle as much as we want to, but like, this is all, I don't know, it's juvenile until that happened, because
Yeah. 100%.
we need, what does a good relationship need? Good sex and communication.
Literally.
Okay, we're not
Literally.
even communicating that good right now. But let's maybe try the sex thing, and maybe that'll revive us.
My mom
and-
has always told me, you cannot buy the car without driving it out of the
driving it.
fucking lot, dude.
And I just feel like it's kind of weird, all these conversations we're having about like him not committing, and like, why do we expect him to commit? Because I think, well, again, this kind of, it would be rare if it was the other way around. The guy's not having sex. I'm just saying, like,
You know? Yeah.
we don't have a lot of stories to compare this to. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Yeah.
And again, I respect her for holding off for a while and doing this shtick. It just, we need to manage our expectations. I don't know. I'm very,
It was also like, I think if we have sex, like I'll catch feelings. And I respect that because like,
but you don't think she already has feelings?
what's the point, girl? Imagine my take on things is you could catch feelings for a guy and find out he has a fucking micro penis. And then it's too late.
And then it's too late.
Oh,
No,
it's
let's be
fault.
real. A real girl, like, you have feelings already. You got feelings. You're not just cuddling for fun. Dude, I don't want to cuddle with someone I don't like for months. Like,
No.
it's
No,
just confusing. And every episode, like, kind of, I'm like, nothing happened.
Yeah. No. Crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, so we'll stay tuned for that. What
Oh.
episode are we on? Are we near the end?
I think the finale is happening on like the 30th or something. So not
Okay.
this episode, but the following.
So, like, 2 more
My-
episodes.
Yeah.
2 or 3. Wow, really quick. Well, I had one more point I just wanted to say about Summer House, like, especially comparing like Summer House to VPR right now. Like, these VPR girls need to take notes on how the girls are supporting the girls in Summer
I
House,
don't
because
know,
they've
let's-
never been so girl, besides weirdo Danielle right now being a weirdo. I don't even want to talk about her because she's being a weirdo, and I don't
Mm.
sign off on that energy, and we're not gonna
Mhm.
give that time.
Sure.
But like, I don't know. It's just, especially because I'm watching old episodes of Summer House, like, these girls have not always been united. Let me be real. Let me be real.
Far from
And
it.
it's kind of exciting to watch them be.
It's fun. I love it.
It
I
is.
love
It
it.
is
I'm
really
here for it.
fun.
It's bringing out a better side of Lindsay.
Yeah,
It's giving
wait,
us very
Lindsay's cool.
dynamic. Yeah, it's giving us a
I
very
never would say.
dynamic approach to like her situation with Carl. Like, it's just a vibe.
Yeah.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on to Jersey very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't want to necessarily get into like what happened in the episode because like it's all fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But the Fudas, need to sit the fuck down.
How are you about that?
The food doesn't sit the fuck.
Okay, well, before we get into it, I just want to say I'm a recovered Teresa Giudice addict. Okay, like I ride or die for Teresa. Like anything she would do, I was just like, she meant it. Like it's good. But like now I've gotten clean and I see a little bit more clearly. And again, I'm never trying to be a sheep, okay? But I'm just saying with the Fuda thing, fuck you, Teresa.
Okay, hot take. I'm on Teresa's side.
How did that even start? How did that even
in the
start?
sense of I'm
I
like,
don't remember.
her foodies need to like remember their plate.
No, I know
this
you're these
food
newbies and they're
is-
going around banning people and
No, and telling and saying like you're a has-been. Like she's not a has-been. The show would fucking scramble without her, dude. So I don't know you. I don't know you. I'm not invested enough.
No, her husband, I agree.
Margaret, I'm invested enough for her to go to Teresa about the situation. The food? With all due. No. And this is where I stand on Teresa. I'm not a fan, but I'm not a hater. I'm critical of her, very critical of her, and I hate watching her fight. And I don't know if she's like the best person.
Yeah.
Particularly when it comes to reality TV. And like she does a lot of questionable shit that I do not agree with. I think she's great TV. I think she's great for the show. I think she has a star energy. I love watching.
I think she's an amazing mom. Her best scenes on this entire show are always with her family.
Always with her kids. And I have a lot of respect for her.
Me too, so much.
Do I think she says crazy shit? Do I think she fights dirty?
Yeah.
All those things. But like, I don't want her off the show.
No, never. By the way, never. But like, it's just like when we get to these friend fights, like I can't. I was beaten up defending her all these years. Like, I know.
It's tough.
It's really tough out here.
But I think the season's gonna be really good. I think it's gonna be really fucking good.
I think it is too. And just quick thing about the like seeing Joe Gorga and Melissa with their side of the family. Like again, I'm not trying to like be fully enthralled by them, but like it made me fucking cry. Like Joe Gorga, he's my favorite character on the show. He always will be. He's the funniest guy. Like this guy never stops bringing. Like he's just funny.
Yeah.
And also, but like I am the first person to say he could never be my husband. He's a toxic piece of shit. But there are some men and uncles, let's say, I think all of us know an uncle like Joe Gorga. I think we all know somebody like that. Yeah. And like seeing him at this dinner and him being the best version of himself, all just because of a little bit of love. Because of a little bit of security and like he was in this positive light. Even the way he was he's Father Joe officiating the gay wedding, which let's be real, 8 seasons ago, he was probably saying some homophobic shit. Okay. Sure. But the way that like he was around this positive light and nothing could stop him. Like that was really exciting to watch. And like I love Melissa's family. They're just a classic.
Yeah, they're great.
A classic Jersey family. And like that was some good shit. I have actually one more thing about how it ends with the Jen Fessler Tree friendship. Do you think that Jen Fessler genuinely wants to be friends with Teresa because she's a sucker for attention and she's messy? Or is it giving fully produced? Because to me, it's giving fully produced.
Is it giving fully produced to you?
Yeah.
Hot take.
No.
I think they actually really likes Teresa. You know why? Because I think I would like Teresa.
But then
I think I would go on a show with my friend and I'd be like, fuck that bitch, she's a manipulative cunt.
You're right. You're right.
I would have side chats and then I'd be like,
she's kind of cool. You were wrong. Because she's nice to me. Because she's nice to me, so she's kind of cool.
Exactly.
You're right.
Hot take.
Maybe. No,
but
yeah.
I do think there's a production element to it. And I do think Jen Fessler like wants the fame and I think she loves being on the show and I think she loves all those things.
Yeah.
And she knows kind of going with Teresa like could help more than it would hinder.
There is a funny.
I think it's going to be a really good season. I'm excited.
Well, that was so exciting.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. This was good. We could probably go for another fucking 2 hours. Lord knows.
Probably could.
And yeah, so thank you for coming. Come back soon. You know, I love having you every few weeks, every month or so. I'm like, we need Sophie back on the pod.
Like clockwork.
The people fucking love you. And thank you all for listening. That was this week's episode of That's My Opinion Pod. And I'll see you guys next week.